This channel is designed for adults viewing only, and certain videos will contain rated M for mature video games, featuring realistic violence, gore and suggestive themes. If you are not an adult, do not view the content on this channel.
Sit back and relax. It's time to take a wild trip to the past. Get ready for another exciting episode of Memory Lane. Sticker can only mean one thing. We're gonna be showing off the game room. Alright, the game room, as you can hear, my floors are, this is an old condo, so the floors definitely creak like I'm 1,000 pounds. Alright, so let's give you guys a little quick view of the game room, and this is the famous table right here where I do all my, my recordings. Let's brighten this up a little bit here. And this is the lamp I used to actually lighten that area, which I want to change that up eventually. That is the CRT. These are the shelves. It's basically what it looks like going into my game room. The game room is pretty small. And this is where I do all my video editing. And the video editing is done on this computer down here, which is a Ryzen 3950X. You guys can probably see what the inside of this thing looks like in here. Maybe a little bit. That's another light I can use for filming if I want to, which I rarely use that light. We got a Virtual Boy. We have an actual grenade, which is obviously that came from my uncle who passed away. He was a Vietnam vet. This thing is not. You can see right there. Don't call the police or anything like that. It's definitely gutted, so it doesn't work. And the pin's also bad. And then we have a dust-covered second model NES. Let's turn this brightness down a little bit so you guys can see it. And we got a Super Nintendo. We have the Pikachu and Super Mario. We have the Atari 2600 Junior, and we have a screwdriver that I have been looking for a long time. There it is. That's a Nintendo screwdriver, and I did not know that was there. And we have a Super Famicom and a GameCube right here on the bottom. That GameCube needs repair though. That GameCube does not work. And up here on top we have this is a shelf of all kinds of stuff right here. I'm going to show you guys what we have here. This is one of the better shelves. It has a lot of cool stuff. I will probably shine more light here so you guys can see it. All the way on top we have a Nintendo New York City bag. You can only get those bags from Nintendo of New York. It actually says it right there on top. We have this Zelda figurine. It's a collector's box. And we have a Nintendo Switch Animal Crossing edition and a special plastic casing, just so the box doesn't get damaged. We have an Animal Crossing Switch holder up there, and we have a couple of random things over here that I just happen to have. And over here we have Dreamcast games. Take a quick look at all the Dreamcast games I have. These are Japanese Dreamcast games right here. Those are a few American ones up here, and right here. The reason why I kept this was because of the stamps. The stamps look really cool. If I can focus the camera without showing my address. Let's see here. I thought those stamps were really cool, so I kept it. That was an old package from who knows where, when. That was a long time ago. And these are Sega Saturn games, and you can see these two shelves right here are reserved for Sega Saturn. I plan on buying more Sega Saturn games. And I have a lot of Sega Saturn games, as you guys can see. I'm trying to keep them alphabetically ordered. And there we go. We got a lot of stuff. And here we have a a random selection of weird NES games. And we even have this Neo Geo Pocket box for Big Bang Pro Wrestling. We have Donkey Kong on the Game Boy still in a box. And we have some good old LGR games. Or Acclaim. Here we go, Knight Rider. I love the box art on that. Look at that, that's awesome. And here's another bad game with a good box art. Look how awesome that is. And we still have Super Mario 3 in the box. And then we have this one right here. WrestleMania. With Hulk Hogan on the box. That game is pretty bad, but it has pretty awesome box art. These are really weird multi-carts. And these are not new multi-carts here, these are old. But they are really, really weird. This one's a new one. This is a new multi-cart. And this one right here is another weird, mysterious multi-cart. And right here we have a couple of Game Boys from J&C Fix and Play. These are backlit Game Boys. I use these to record various different episodes. They work really well. We have some more Sega Saturn games. And of course, these are Sega Saturn games also. These are, honestly, I don't like these cases. I like the Japanese cases better. And that's a Sega Saturn memory card. Back up. And here we have some NES games. I have two places for NES games. I have this shelf, and I have that shelf over there. So two sections for NES games. And you can see we have a various different amount of NES games right here. I'm not going to go into like a whole bunch of detail. Of course we have, this is probably like the most expensive one right here. Snow Brothers. That game's, for some reason, very expensive. I don't know why. And then of course I have some Switch games right here. These are the ones I play most common. And then we have some Super Famicom games. And I have end labels on these. So let's say if you take this one out, that's what it looks like. But I printed out these custom end labels so it's easier to actually tell what's what. Now I wish I could do the same for these guys down here. These are Japanese PS1 games. And a lot of them have like English on one side and Japanese on the other side, but some of them actually don't have that. And this is quite a bit of Japanese PS1 games I have. And we have some Wii games down here in the corner, which I completely forgot about those. That's actually a collection of Wii games that I actually held on to from the when I first bought the Wii. Some of those games were like the Excite Truck. That was like the first game I bought. And these are Japanese PS2 games, and as you can see, I printed out custom labels to put inside the insert. Okay, we have more down here. And this is an empty... Actually, no, this is a fully functioning Dreamcast I keep here for backup. Which you guys will see why later on. Let's get into the... this right here. Sit down for a second here. This is actually the Sega Master System section right here. I don't actually have a shelf for Sega Master System. I have all the Sega Master System games I have recorded episodes on down here on the side. These are all memory lane episodes right here. That's a lot of episodes for one console. And these are the ones that I have yet to do. Which I plan on doing these episodes. You can see eventually you're going to be seeing episodes on these games right here. And we do have more games up here which require 3D glasses and various other things. We have the Game Genie booklet up here too, which, believe it or not, I still use this booklet. And there we go. This requires a light gun, which I have to track that down. And these right here, I was actually planning on doing videos on. So I just left them piled over here for now. And I already did videos on these three right here. And I plan on doing videos on those three. So, randomly we have a Sega Genesis stick right here. It is a little dusty. I haven't really used it at all before. We'll test it out eventually. We do have a Sega Saturn right here that's currently not hooked up. I have 3 Sega Saturns. We have a, wow, what's my voice here? We have a Sega Master System. And you can see right there I have like an EverDrive cartridge inside of it where I can play just about any game for the Master System, plus like ROM hacks and stuff. This is a pop-in music controller for the Dreamcast, which eventually I will be doing an episode on that. And there we have the GameCube and the Dreamcast on the bottom. And the Dreamcast is a special SD card Dreamcast that allows me to play various different games that I don't have. That allows me to do a lot of different reviews and videos for you guys. For example, I made like a homebrew video. Actually, I made a video on a homebrew game that was like a Halo game on the Dreamcast like a while ago, and that's the reason why I was able to do it. We have a PS1 right there. Finally got a PS2 that's like modded and it actually works right. I know a while ago I made a video on a pretty big nightmare on a PS2 that was not functioning properly at all. It came from a guy that was not a reliable source for buying PS2s in my opinion. And here we go, we got a better one, it works better. And I keep it nice and clean. And it's not only does it have a modded case, but it has a chip in it that's modded as well. This NES right here, this is also modded with the red light wing. So when you insert a cartridge into that thing, it sticks out. And you can see right there, it actually says, let me see if you can see that. And it tells you not to push it down like a normal NES. And I try to keep these dust covers on it just so it doesn't. It's more of a convenience, like I don't want to keep wiping it down every single time. Of course you can see there is dust all over the place. It's normal for just about any place. We have an N64 right there, and the N64 also is a modded N64. It plays Japanese and American games, which is not really that hard to do. N64 mods are pretty easy. The biggest thing about that N64 mod is that it paint job. It has a custom paint job. We have a Sega 32X and a Genesis right here, one of my favorites. So it is a little scuffed up. This back in the day I bought 2 Genesis consoles for cheap that supposedly didn't work right, and this one actually I got it working. Brought it back to life. And we have a Game Shark for the N64, Game Genie. We have a Super Game Boy, the Game Genie. This is the microphone that I use right here for talking on videos. I keep it right on top of the TV right there. And right here we have the CRT. This is the Magnavox. This came out in like 1995, that TV. And right here, currently what we're using for Atari 2600 is a 7800. And this actually works quite well. And we do have some 7800 games right here as well. And these are custom printed posters. We've got Dungeon Masters, we have an Atari poster right here. And we have a Sonic the Hedgehog poster. And I really didn't have any desire to repaint the walls. So the walls are still its original color when I moved in. It's kind of like a turquoise, blue-greenish look. And it doesn't quite match everything in here, but I don't feel like repainting everything, so let's left it alone. And we have a ColecoVision flashback up there, which I've done a couple of videos on that. We have a Game Boy case, and then television flashback. We have various different PlayStation games right here for the American PlayStation. And we do have some long case stuff. And these are all N64 games. I have custom end labels. There's a few of them that don't have custom end labels, like this right here. Alright, let's see if we can turn the brightness down a little bit here. You guys might be able to see it better. We got like Quake, all those type of games, and we have a Sega Genesis right here. All kinds of Sega Genesis stuff. I collected this stuff throughout the years. A tremendous amount of stuff. These three right here are homebrew games. Yes, Turtles game, a Street Fighter 2 game that's custom, keyboard, and this over here is like a mixed bag of 30. These are 32X games, and we have some weird games right here that are not like official Genesis games. A lot of them are we actually have a couple of Japanese games here. Golden X3. These down here are 32X. But we do have some horrible Russian or Chinese bootleg Sega Genesis. Look at this. It's Mario on the Sega Genesis. That's not right. Let's put that back in there. That's not right. Alright, here we go. We have more Super Nintendo games right here because we did not have room. And we have some more NES games right here. You can see there's a bunch of NES games. And we got Friday the 13th right there. Look at that. Most of them have all their dust labels. And then we have the Super Nintendo games, which have plain end labels. I just made it simple. So if you want to play, there you go. Just pull it out and play it. And down here we have one of my favorite collections, which I'm going to sit down on the floor and show you guys here. This is the Atari 2600 collection. This is a nice old collection of games. Now these games are around 40 years old. Most of them are around 40 years old. Some of them are even older than that. So if you appreciate video games, this is where video games started. And this is where video games got really took off. The Atari 2600 was like the first really popular gaming console back in the late 70s, early 80s. And here we go. Got all these Blue Label Activision games, and Activision is still a very popular publisher. And they basically made a ton of games on the 2600, and they really stood out for the quality. They have really good quality games. In fact, Pitfall 2 arguably could be like one of the best games on the 2600. You can see the famous Activision logo right there. Still the same as it is today. And this portion of the 2600 games right here are actually like homebrew games right here. They're definitely not like Planet Raid. This is actually like a second version of River Raid. You can see the Activision logo right there. This is a game that's like a homebrew River Raid game that's been modified and has new maps, new levels, all that stuff. Instead of being called River Raid, it's called Planet Raid. And I have a cartridge of it, which that's not easy to find. The same thing with this. This is pretty hard to find. E.T. Tennis. Not that anybody would want to have that, but it's actually pretty funny. And of course, I have a bunch of horror games on the 2600. This game's pretty funny. Mean Santa. And then over here we have a bunch of other weird cartridges and stuff. We have these Xenix double-ender cartridges where you can actually play 2 games in one. You flip the game over, plug it in. If you're done with that, flip it over, plug it in, and play this game. You have Robin Hood. And what's this one? Sir Lancelot. And I have a couple of those. Some of those are really rare. And what is this one over here? We have a Super Cobra. It's a 5200 cartridge. I don't have 5200. And this is a really, really beat up cartridge called China Syndrome. It's a really weird game. And I made a video on that. And if you look right there, I have an Atari sticker back there. And here we have more 5200 cartridges. But again, I really don't play 5200 games. I just happen to have them. And we have GameCube games right here on the bottom shelf. And the GameCube games, I definitely love the GameCube games. Like, this is the second game that I bought on the GameCube back in the day. Godzilla, which I just did a video on that. That game is awesome. The first game I bought was the very first game I owned on GameCube, and this is my original copy, was this one right here. This game is awesome. That was back when wrestling was really, really good. Alright, let's put these back here, and I'm going to have to try to somehow get up. Let's go this way. Oh my god, I almost fell down. Alright, so also we have this over here. We have... oh, shit. Almost fell down. Okay, so this is a custom built computer that has what's known as, what the hell is it called? Recall box. It's a Linux operating system that allows you to play like emulators and ROMs and all that stuff. We have a 360 down there. PS3. We do have another PS2 right there, which I just need to fix that. And up here, this is another shelf. Various different things up here. This has probably more modern stuff. We have a ton of Wii U games right here. And there is a couple of Wii games right there. And then we have more Switch games. Now these Switch games, a lot of them are not even open. There's a ton of Switch games. And if you like handhelds, we have the Game.com, one of the greatest handhelds of all time. And there it is. There's the Game.com. I'm pretty sure that most of you will disagree with me on that comment. The greatest handheld system of all time. Okay, we got the Game Boy right here. Now, yeah, this is probably the greatest system of all time as far as handhelds go. And we got the Neo Geo Pocket Color with Big Bang Pro Wrestling right here. And that's a rare Henshin Tiger Neo Geo Pocket Color. And we have a Game Boy Advance SP. Now this spot right here is reserved for Game Gear, but the Game Gear is currently being operated on. So yeah, we have the Zelda case there instead. And speaking of Game Gear, we have Game Gear games, tons of Game Gear games. If you like wrestling, here we go. We got Steel Case Challenge. And we have Game Boy stuff over here, tons of it. We have some 3DS and DS games. We have a PSP. And we also have a 3DS right there. And we have some more 3DS games over here on this side. We have the Xbox games. We can't have a collection of games without having some Xbox games, like original Xbox games. And here we go. We have some good old Godzilla games on the Xbox. Destroy All Monsters Melee on the Xbox. At one time, that was a GameCube exclusive. Destroy All Monsters Melee. Then all of a sudden, it came out on the Xbox, I guess. Alright, let's see what else we got here. We have a Nintendo Animal Crossing bag. We also have some PlayStation memory cards right there. We have some more DS stuff over there. And here we have some PS2 games. And there we go. PS2 games still in the case. More PS2 games, and we got PS3 games. And down here on the bottom here, let's check out what we have down here. This is like the portion of the shelf I don't go to too often. It's like the leftovers. We even have a couple of movies down here. Look at that. We got a couple of random point and click games for PC. We have a random PS2 game right here, a Gundam one. Point and click games. My wife loves point and click games, and she loves The Sims. There we go. She has a huge Sims collection. And there we go, more Sims stuff. And well, I guarantee that's The Sims also. So let's zoom in. The Sims, the original Sims. Check that out. Alright, what do we got down here? We got more Sims stuff. What is this? Oh, this is pretty cool. I had no idea this was down here. This is Elder Scrolls Anthology. I had no idea that was down there. Look at that. What else do we have down here? There's stuff here that I don't even... Look at that. Time Splitters. The first Time Splitters is down there. I didn't know that. And down here we have some random stuff down here. We have controllers. Usually I keep things in like baskets and stuff like this. Look at this. More Sim stuff. Or place. These are actually this is actually PlayStation demo discs for PS2. Now look at this. We have Windows XP Service Pack 2. Check that out. PlayStation demo discs. These are all demo discs for the PS2. And oh, look at this. We got a PC version of Turok. We got Unreal, Zork. Let's hold this camera right here. What else do we have here? We have an empty case. And we have a PlayStation 2 online thing right here. Is there anything else good in here? I kind of forgot about over the years. We have all these things right here. And that would be that. First that shelf goes. Let's put this back. Get in there. I don't want to ruin the box, so no worries. Maybe I should just leave it out. Just leave it right there. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much that. I have more stuff down here. This is also a closet with an Atari Activision. Alright, so this is also a closet with an Atari Activision curtain. And inside the closet there's a lot of random stuff in there. There's even an old Sesame Street stuffed animal standing there. Look at that. That's Grover. He guards the closet. He makes sure everything stays in place. Lots of random stuff in here. Lots of random stuff. We have another Sega Saturn right there. We have another PlayStation. Atari 2600. And these I use for monitor speakers. These clips. And they work quite well. Alright. This is something I'm going to eventually be showing off on Memory Lane videos for wrestling belts. We have an AEW replica belt right here, which I hang on the wall. And you can see I have two more over here. This is the Mystery Hogan belt from, I think it was '85. He only used that belt for 1 week. And then we have this one right here. This is the a really nice replica belt. And I'm going to be showing that off eventually on a separate video. That would be fun if you guys want to see that. Like a special Memory Lane video on wrestling belts. And we have more Nintendo Power magazines, and we have my old school laptop right here that has Windows 2000. I plan on playing the Oregon Trail on that laptop using actual Gaming Palooza fans as family members. These I have yet to do anything with these yet, but I plan on making episodes on those. I have a dual monitor set up. I don't really use this one too often, but if I want to edit a video and see the actual full video up here, I can. And this is where I do my editing right here. So I use Vegas, and this is a Ryzen 3950X with 128 gigs. So here we go. We're opening up Vegas. Now I'll show you guys what the software looks like just for a second. I also use Arlo for my router. We also have another switch right there. I also keep I also monitor the temperature right here and the humidity just to make sure everything's good. So this is what my editing software looks like, and just so you guys can see a little sneak peek at something I'm working on for next year for an introduction. I'm going to show it to you guys. So we'll go into Gaming Palooza Empire. We'll go into Memory Lane. This is basically how I do my work. Okay, so here we go. Alright, this is a test video. We'll see how this works. Let's turn that sound up. Alright, so what you just saw was a special little sneak peek at the introduction and logo that I plan on using for next year. I do plan on getting new camera and new stuff so that things look better. This microphone, this came from Best Buy. This is an Insignia microphone. This actually works really well. I might just keep that one. One thing I missed is the VCR. This is a nice old Samsung VCR and it still works. And this remote, I used this remote in the introduction to one of my Gaming Palooza videos. And I'm pretty sure you guys remember that. I pushed the power button or the rewind button and it came back on. Just like that. So let's end the video using the remote. Here we go. We're going to push the stop button. 3, 2, 1.